is up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite Wednesday night wrestling podcast with your host, Chuck Winchester, with your host, Yvonne DeBoard. And then on the other side of the current RSH champion, the returning Michael Bennett. You've seen him before. You'll see him again. And then still the reigning, defending,
they know
117,000 million day RSH heavyweight champion of the world.
787.
That's close enough. 1,787,000.
It's almost 800. It'll be 825 by the time I defend it again. Nobody's keeping track.
But who's counting?
Exactly.
It's math I can't even do.
It's the only thing I'm better than John Cena at is like I actually keep the belt.
And people can see you.
I need to come back more regular so I can actually challenge for this.
Well, unlike the WWE, we don't do part-time champions right here at RSH. But again, welcome back, Bennett. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, shit.
And let's get right into it. We got all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, I looked at the list earlier. The news week of the past 2 weeks in wrestling, including AEW, has been insane.
Fuck AEW.
Some things just don't change. You gotta love it.
We got injuries out the ass.
Rampage got their.
Yep.
If their all-time lowest rating last week wasn't bad enough, they topped that last Friday. That their Dynamite got their lowest rating since last July.
That happens.
And Rampage got the lowest rating ever. Tony Khan, you're doing a great job.
Well, we got
round of applause for AEW.
We got Randy Orton with a back injury. We got CM Punk with an injury, having fourth with that
Tony,
title.
all that money you're showing out's working, bro. Do some more cocaine.
We got Daniel
I don't
Bryan.
think you guys are taking this seriously. Like, you know how hard it is.
I mean,
to spend.
I wouldn't talk about that CW when Vince McMahon is being accused of other things that's not cocaine induced.
Well,
I mean, there might have been cocaine involved.
Where are WWE's ratings? High. The highest they've been in months.
That's fine.
Where's AEW's? In the shitter.
So I asked before we came on air, do you guys think the MJF thing doesn't work? Because right now your best
I think it
minute for minute draw
was MJF.
It's gone. It's been
it
gone
hasn't
for
been
3
on
weeks.
TV for the last 3 years.
That's fair.
Maybe probably 4 weeks if you count tonight.
That's fair.
So you lose your best draw for a possible work. Or maybe Tony Khan took a gamble on what he was gonna say on the mic and didn't expect him to go, you fucking mark of national TV. But either way,
it could be both. Maybe it was we're still figuring our contract out and they're just working it out. They can't be back on TV until it's done. Maybe one of those things.
But he's got
Who knows?
years left.
I don't fucking know.
He's got time left, so it's.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know, but yeah, AEW. I haven't got to watch Raw and SmackDown, but I got to watch it, and it hasn't
been good.
Yeah, no.
You're not excited about
it.
Forbidden Door.
No, I haven't watched AEW in a year, honestly.
So no, I'm kind of with the MJF promo line. I don't pretend to watch New Japan all the time. Do I know
that cracked me up?
Do I know who
Tony Khan could have not liked that.
I know Tanahashi, and I know the bigger names. So,
sure.
The guy, I don't know his name offhand, but Page challenged Okada, right? I know those names.
Man, he's the one that's not going to be
I
there.
don't say I sit there and watch this shit on
out of all the shit happening at Forbidden Door, the only thing that's cool is Orange Cassidy's back.
That is cool.
That's it.
And he's
that's going to be a fantastic.
And he's fighting.
He's
fighting generic Buddy Murphy. So
hey, he had his penis inside Alexa's vagina. So give that man some respect.
I'm talking about Will Ospreay. This Will Ospreay fucker that talks about shit online.
Oh, you're talking about Buddy Murphy? No, I thought you were. The real Buddy Murphy?
No, Will Ospreay is generic Buddy Murphy.
Well, I don't think his penis has been inside Alexa's vagina, so disregard that comment.
Will Ospreay
I mean, somehow.
I mean, maybe. I don't know their personal lives. But
anyway. Sorry to
I don't even know what the fuck.
take the first couple minutes away.
No, hey man. Yeah, I haven't watched Dynamite live in a year. I've kept up with Christian stuff on YouTube and the same with CM Punk and MJF stuff on YouTube. But no,
Christian turned heel on Jungle Boy.
I saw that. Yeah.
If you go through my
About
YouTube
time.
history, you'll find none of that
So
shit online.
You guys ain't missing nothing.
I mean, I like Christian going heel. I just don't care because it's Jungle Boy. Who the fuck cares about Jungle Boy?
You guys haven't missed.
Listen, that's Luke Perry's son.
Yeah, and he's dead, and they're not the same people.
You know who,
I mean, I'm just saying.
you know who's not dead and people do care about him? John Cena.
Oh boy.
Monday.
Vince McMahon definitely does.
Monday.
Yep.
It's the whole premise of the episode. There's a graphic.
Oh boy.
There's another graphic.
We're going to base a whole episode around one retired guy. All
He's
right.
Retired. Partly retired.
I'm mostly retired. He hasn't been here in a year.
He is the greatest
I would say that's
of
retired.
all time. The greatest.
Last year was the summer of Cena, This year is it's supposed to be the summer of Punk, but that's gone.
Yeah.
So now it's just the summer of
Ended
injuries and
abruptly.
lawsuits, I think. That's what this summer is. Injuries and lawsuits.
Let's start with that because Vince seems very upset, very fucking fearful about it. Just by by
Oh, there's nothing to be fearful about. The dude's rich. Rich people don't get in trouble for this kind of stuff.
If he survives the steroid shit, he's gonna be fine. And I also have an issue with like women. It's like, oh, it's been 30 years. I'm gonna scream rape now. It's like not saying it's good.
No.
Not saying it's
That's a misquote. Just nobody's saying anybody raped anybody.
No. Yeah,
No.
the girl didn't even say.
Well,
No.
Somebody
I'm
else
also having an
thinking
issue with
does.
like shit being pulled up 20 years.
No,
later.
the problem is it's current with John Laurinaitis as well, and they're using company funds to pay this bitch off who they were both banging. Nobody's raping anybody. It's just they're using company funds to pay this bitch to shut her mouth.
Yep.
So who leaked it? Nick or
Exactly.
Stephanie? Or,
I don't know.
Levesque
Maybe
or,
somebody who's really good with the books noticed some interest in
Stephanie
script
is-
season is like, oh,
Intern.
Interim CEO
Yep.
Triple H is back. He announced today he was at the PC.
and this don't get it twisted. This isn't like 30 years ago. They were banging before WrestleMania. Like, I mean, that's current stuff.
Yeah. And the worst that's going to come out of this, and the worst that I've
Nothing.
read about it, besides the fact that they tag teamed this intern or whatever she was,
Right.
is that it's official that Vince and Linda are unofficially a divorce.
Which I called that back when he was on McAfee's podcast because
You
he
did.
said, and I quote, my wife at the time, my wife. And as a former background investigator,
You never forgot. I remember that.
you said some shit that you didn't mean to say.
right. So that's honestly the worst that comes. I mean, besides that, what are you going to get him for? This man had an affair and paid her off
No.
with an NDA. Like that doesn't happen all the time.
I
And
feel
that-
like the question is going to be what money did he use? If he's using company money on a public company, that's incorrect.
right.
And so whatever. But it's not like gonna be like, oh, he raped anybody. It's gonna
Right. It's
be
going to be a big fine.
Was
and
he
he's going to have to pay
misusing-
more money for
Exactly.
using that money.
exactly. He was misusing company funds. Is the problem here. And Johnny Ace is going to be gone probably because he'll be the fall guy. Vince will be back in the CEO position probably in 3 months, maybe a year. I'm not sure how long.
I'd
that shit
return
takes.
And even if he doesn't come back, like to
He-
public knowledge, he's still pulling the strings.
He's still on Raw and SmackDown.
That's,
He is. Yep,
that's what
he
that
is.
is.
I think-
This is my
Yep.
company. I'm
Exactly.
still
And
going
I
to do
think
whatever
we're
I
Show
gonna
want.
get
what
an
I
angle. I
want.
think we're getting an angle Monday between him, Theory, and Cena.
Sure. And that's just Vince strutting his thing, man. This is my company. I can do whatever the F I want.
Yep.
Which I don't agree with, but it is his company. He can
I
do whatever
think
the fuck he wants.
Friday.
And
was
when
more-
you're a billionaire with a B,
That's it.
you can do whatever the fuck you
Exactly.
please
That's it.
within the confines of the law.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Friday was his. I'm gonna come out, thank everybody for being there, say we'll get through this shit together and leave.
That's what I thought.
That's how I took it. Like, hey, we're in this together. Thank you.
We're
All
in
your
this
support.
together.
Let's fucking go.
I wish I was banging interns
And
at
he's
that
gonna be
age. But I think that was just him saying, fuck you guys.
Yeah, there's
I'm
that-
still here.
There's him on SmackDown.
That's what that was saying.
There's him on Raw. Announcing
You know
John
what's crazy
Cena.
is he looks more jubilant, I guess would be the word.
Yeah, they said
than he
backstage.
has been in years. Like he didn't look tired. He didn't
Sure.
look stressed.
They
He
said
looks-
backstage he's fucking like bouncing over the walls. He's fucking excited.
It's the
I think
cocaine,
he's
man.
gotta this might be
Vince
a
McMahon
blessing
doesn't
in
do cocaine.
disguise
That's
for
that other
him.
guy.
No, Vince does cocaine. I mean, that was an knock at Tony Khan. There's stories of Vince doing cocaine back in the day, but that's
You go
different.
get Tony Khan's right nostril, and you could fit a fucking elephant up that thing.
That dude is bouncy.
He is.
I feel like I'm missing this story somewhere about Tony Khan.
No, we're just making fun of how excited he get when
Just Google
when
search
Samoa
Tony-
Joe came out and he's all bouncing all over the place.
Ah,
It's like, calm down, Tony.
next gotcha.
No, just Google Tony Khan and cocaine. It'll answer all your questions. And I'm serious, it will. He got in trouble for that before,
It happens. Every rich person's son does cocaine.
or people that live in that.
Sure, what's worse, him doing cocaine or his dad hiring Urban Meyer?
That's true.
And I'm a Buckeye fan. I love me some Herb, but
Yeah,
Right.
I miss Tressel. That's how old I am.
Let me get this good shit off. All right, so SmackDown.
The Rock Show
Here
SmackDown.
we go. I've been looking forward to Ben's take on this because I can only guess where
I
this is
can't-
Oh,
going.
I didn't watch it because I knew it was going to happen.
SummerSlam
Can't wait to hear his take on that.
I mean, I figured.
with no Randy. We talked about this last week. I told you Brock was going to be the fucking fill-in.
On Friday, I was texting somebody else. I'm like, this is going to be Goldberg or Brock Lesnar, and then an hour later, here comes Brock
So
Lesnar.
Orton is out until January of 2023.
Oh, breaks my
Cody
heart.
Rhodes is out.
Breaks my
Drew
heart.
McIntyre will be fighting Roman at that fucking England pay-per-view or the fuck it is. So Brock's
The
the,
castle.
guy.
Fuck
So
the
here's
castle.
what's going to happen. Roman and Brock's gonna beat the shit out of each other. They're gonna be laying outside. Seth's gonna come in, stomp fucking Lesnar's face in, cash in, and
I
become
hope
the
so.
undisputed champion.
Hope so.
And that's how they're gonna
Stop
do it.
Brock Lesnar saying
Then Seth's gonna hold on to it until WrestleMania. Cody's gonna come back, win the Royal Rumble. Rock versus Roman's gonna be a standalone on night 1. And Cody's going to get his fucking American dream and win on night 2.
So you think SummerSlam is going to be the end of the
It's
Roman Reigns
guaranteed.
era?
I guarantee it will.
It's guaranteed.
It's 100% locked in.
100% fact. Yep.
I'm just saying,
Seth
why
is
book
going
him to
to
win
cash in.
3 WrestleManias in a row, or 2 at least in a row, to not have it against The Rock and
Because
solidify?
The Rock and Roman for the title is a given on who's going to win.
It's going to be a given anyway. The Rock's not beating Roman Reigns
Rock
at
could be.
WrestleMania.
Straight up.
Unless they do it again the next year like they did with John Cena a decade ago.
Straight up makes it more possible that he does win. Then if it's for the belt, The Rock's not winning.
I mean,
If you do it as standalone, The Rock could sneak a win or something.
That's
And that match doesn't need the titles. I'd rather the belt titles be utilized differently or somewhere else.
sure.
You did say something interesting there. You said Orton's out to January 2023, right? I mean, he has what, the most Rumble wins, or he's tied
Yeah.
the most Rumble wins?
Oh, yeah, he come back to the Rumble.
Now, this is where Riddle eliminates him, and that's when their shit falls apart. I think Riddle and Orton.
I also think by that time we're back to the dual titles. I don't think we're gonna have an undisputed champion.
So what will the how are they going to split them up?
I don't know yet. That'll be probably around Survivor Series.
Fair enough. And will it still be the Universal in WWE, or will they bring in a new
I
title?
think they're going to go with one belt.
Like,
So,
They already,
Going forward?
they already have a design.
Sure.
They showed it at fucking WrestleMania. I don't know why the fuck they didn't use it.
I don't know.
I feel like they'll have one
Remember,
belt
we-
for like 2 years, and they'll split them again because you have to.
Yeah, but Seth's going to look badass.
That's been
And
their
it
routine.
makes sense because Seth never lost to Roman.
He never
Like
did.
when we were in St. Louis,
Sure.
Seth did
He
lose.
No, he
Like
lost.
technically he won, but they protected the fuck out of Seth this whole time. And this is going to be Seth's reward for like literally putting
Losing every
Cody
match.
like,
Over.
well, Seth
Yeah.
fucking was like the perfect opponent for Cody.
I mean, he literally lost to a guy in a Hell in a Cell with a torn fucking shoulder.
Literally.
I thought
3
some of that
times.
was a work, but man,
No, it was torn.
You were a bad.
That was
Yeah.
definitely torn.
That was
You-
definitely
any
torn.
shit I've ever talked about Cody Rhodes, like, all
Sure.
right, you're badass. Man.
Same. Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, Brock beat the fuck out of well,
you've seen it.
Yeah.
I remember WrestleMania. I
you
remember
got
the whole
5 Roman.
lead up. Yeah, I remember
We
that.
don't need to
If
see
you go
that
back to right before the Rumble, this looks identical.
Yeah.
Pictures.
It
That's
does.
what I said. Like, I could.
That is. You
Yep.
can go back from January and find that.
I
same
like the
picture.
last man standing thing because I definitely think the Money in the Bank is going to play.
Yep.
It's going to be exactly like it was at fucking Mania. Riddle's going to beat Seth earlier in the night because it's going to be Riddle and Seth. They fucking pretty much got that together last night on Raw Monday.
I saw you like, yeah, they attacked him.
Seth's going to lose. Then 3 hours later, he's going to come out, cash in on fucking them, except like you said it before we went on air, he's going to pin Lesnar, which that way Reigns don't get pinned. He's still
still
bitch
strong.
like, I never lost, motherfucker.
I get my rematch.
And then
Yeah. There we go.
Seth can run with it. Roman can do his part-time shit.
My only
Get
thing
him
with it is,
Survivor Series would be the next big one.
Yeah.
let's say Brock wasn't going. Let's say Randy Orton wasn't hurt. It would still be Randy versus Reigns. As we all thought.
Yeah.
Do we think that Reigns would have lost that match to Randy Orton?
No.
So why would they all of a sudden change this 2+ year storyline because out of nowhere and then have Reigns be off now rather than still be champion until whatever they had planned originally?
I think they realized that The Rock, you don't need the belt.
They
That
just,
match
they
sells
just
itself
realized that
without-
because Randy Orton got injured. They just realized that.
No, I don't think Randy Orton being injured. I think they realized the greatest thing in professional wrestling right now is this guy right here on the left.
So do we think that if Randy
That's
Orton
fair.
was still in this match, Seth Rollins would cash in the money?
I'd have Seth cash in no
All
matter who was in this
He
match.
would.
That's fair.
So, yeah,
That's
he
fair.
would.
Seth, I think over the last 6 months, they realized Seth is the best wrestler in professional wrestling.
is.
If you break down everything he does, from like every gimmick he's had to his in-ring work, to his mic work, to the way he fucking portrays every character he gets, there's nobody better than him right now.
I mean, it's hard to argue.
And he just
agree.
got Cody Rhodes. He just took Cody Rhodes in 3 months and accomplished more than Cody Rhodes accomplished in 8 years in WWE by himself.
Yep.
He Seth did it in 3 months.
Sure.
Like Cody Rhodes is the biggest baby face probably in WWE right now.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
he's not
Yep.
even that.
And
He's
his
the only
pop-
reason I got in. I liked
his
it.
pop,
for a
his
while.
epic pop at the Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah.
He can thank Seth for. And when he wins the title off Seth at WrestleMania, he can also thank Seth
Mhm.
because he's made all of this fucking work
Yep.
from the Mania match to everything.
That is
I mean, it's hard to argue some of that. Yeah. I mean,
So this
Rollins
is
is
going to be like
lonely.
rivalry of the year.
and he's been the
All this
main
shit.
guy from the Shield since he cashed in originally back in.
He is the best member of the Shield.
He is.
Yep.
I I agree.
He's more valuable to WWE than we talked about this last week. I think he's
Probably.
more valuable
We
than
did.
WWE than Roman Reigns is. You don't bring in Cody Rhodes and have him fight Roman Reigns and go over.
Sure.
Roman ain't that.
I think now,
That would hurt
Right.
Roman's
now
character.
he has proven that.
But
Right?
Seth, to me,
It took him that long
It
compared
took,
to
it
Roman
took him
Reigns.
that long, and he took him to adapt. Roman never really had to adapt.
Been the same guy.
He was a
Yep.
quiet baby face.
Yep.
That basically his line was, "I'm gonna beat your ass."
And got booed most of the time,
Yeah, he did.
Facts. And then now he barely talks. His line is "Acknowledge me,"
and it works.
and then it's Paul Heyman.
It's just like when he
Um,
beat Taker and he's on Raw the next night. He's like, "It's my yard now."
Yep,
And walked
not
out.
yours.
Right. And I mean, so his character was already built the way to succeed in that manner.
Sure.
Mhm.
Seth has been, he went from heel, the architect, the whatever corporation
Sure.
shit they had,
All
right,
that,
to suck up,
J&J Security.
the J&J security
J&J
thing,
security.
and then eventually worked his way from the bottom to a face, right, to a heavy face, did the thing with Lesnar, went through all that, started to get booed. They realized it quick, turned him at Survivor Series, right after Survivor Series, when the Raw team got swept. Did they get swept?
Yeah, is that when he sacrificed?
I remember
himself?
that. Yeah.
Sacrificed himself, and then
Yeah.
came out and
Remember
had the
that.
whole thing around
Messiah
the ring and called
shit.
everybody out.
Mhm.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then
the Messiah. I have that
Yep.
fucking shirt.
Then did the Messiah thing, and then quickly rolled into this without missing a beat,
Every gimmick.
man.
There's not one real gimmick that he's had that he's like
God,
sucked
dude,
at.
that
And he had the fucking best heel turn of the last like probably 15
He did.
years, honestly, when he
Oh.
turned on the fucking shield with the
Yep,
steel
he did.
chair.
That was really good.
like
yeah,
That caught me off guard.
because it wasn't supposed to be him. It was supposed to be Ambrose, right?
Mhm.
Ambrose was supposed to be.
I think.
He was always sitting at it.
right.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
Remember that?
Oh god, Kofi Wheatston's here.
Oh boy.
My dude,
Kofi
that's my
Wheatston.
burner account.
That's who's this?
That's my burner.
Remember
account.
Kofi Wheatston?
I don't.
He chopped in a couple episodes ago.
January. It was last time I was on here.
Yeah, he
was
popped
on-
in.
I don't remember. To be
Yeah.
fair, I drink a lot.
He only pops in when Bennett's here.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's your boy.
All right, but yeah. So speaking of Money in the Bank, the briefcase is on the line.
I'm getting it this time,
I get a buy.
and I'm going to cash in when I get it too.
Like
I ain't
next,
scared.
next week, I'm gonna pick like all the different people. I'm gonna pick
You
like
better beware, John.
Street Profits win,
Yeah.
Natalia,
Natty's going to win.
Carmella,
You're gonna pick all the opposites.
Lacey Evans, Sheamus,
I would laugh if you were right on all
Hey,
this,
Sheamus
but
is a stable guy. I
Bobby
mean,
Lashley.
you're not.
All right, I'm here for Cody. Well, Cody's hurt.
Yeah, you have to wait like
He's been
6 to 9 months for that,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Make
Big
sure you
travel.
wear the Millers your weed, Kofi. Get a big RV and make sure you can get over the border fine.
That's a good movie. I wish I would have had COVID last year.
Fucking Sudeikis is great.
He is.
You
I think
watched
he's
Ted Lasso
underrated.
Yet? You might watch Ted Lasso yet?
Ted No, I've heard. I've been told to. It's on Apple TV, which I don't have, but I've been told it's awesome.
It is fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna have to get the free subscription and check it out.
Well, we got to transition to my favorite thing that's happened this week. Because why Kofi Wheatston's here. In case he thinks he's seeing double, you are. This happened.
Yep.
No, they're clearly different people.
This
Together
happened.
again.
I don't understand what the problem is.
This happened, and this was fucking epic. And it started back here. They caught up with each other, and then Elias came out and sung. Then Kevin Owens came out freaking out. And then Ezekiel popped up on the Titantron, and then Kevin Owens freaked the fuck out because he was like, "How are both of you here?" Then he ran backstage after Elias hit him with the guitar,
I heard both
and
issues.
Ezekiel was literally standing there, and he's like, "How'd you change so fast?"
Yeah, he
And
did.
he said, "I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'll fight you." He's like, "You probably have a little brother named Elrod. I'll fight him. I'll fight Elias. I don't care who I'm fighting." Which leads to this Monday on Raw.
Yep.
Kevin Owens will fight either Elias, Ezekiel, and or Elrod
Indoor.
Look how mad Kevin
on
Owens
Monday
was.
Night Raw.
Kevin Owens is too good, man.
This
Yes, he
storyline is fantastic. It was trending #1 on Twitter for about 3 hours.
I believe that.
You got
Me
people
too.
from Kenny Omega to Matt Cardona
Nice.
to Kelly putting this over as like, dude, this is like
Kelly
this
Kelly.
is fucking great.
She still watches wrestling.
Dude, they're like this angle is like this is why WWE's WWE. Like this is some shit
Absolutely.
only they pull off.
I mean, it's the only segment that
And
is
it's fucking
worth watching.
great. Like
It
is.
KO,
It-
because
it's-
KO is one of
KO
these, is
they-
a Seth Rollins.
It's the
Yeah.
perfect
He is, yeah.
set of people.
It
Yeah.
is.
And KO and Elias have like fantastic chemistry together.
Always
Yeah.
have. They got the fucking
Seattle
crowd.
thing was
Yeah.
the best thing ever.
They do. Yep.
Kofi Wheaton said, "I love this. I don't understand how people don't see there are two. It's one fucking person, Kofi.
No,
Like,
they're
the-
clearly different.
put the blunt, the bowl, and or ball
No,
down.
first of all, Elias is way tanner than Ezekiel. That's
That's
one.
just the angle.
No, that's
I mean,
clearly.
their brother's black. Look, he only have face.
Well, that's a different. That's like Devon and Bubba. That happens. And then,
Oh, God.
I mean, look, their eyebrows are different. He has a weird line on his face. Ezekiel does compared to Elias. They're
He would
clearly
notice the
different
line
people.
on his face.
One can play the guitar, the other one can't. They're clearly different people.
Their noses are different.
One-
One
looks like
the-
you'll-
I don't know.
Son.
They asked
exactly.
Ezekiel if he could play guitar. He's like, yeah, I dabble in it sometimes.
One
Well,
has
you know,
a mustache.
He said,
one
if I
doesn't.
picked up a guitar, I think I could probably stroke it a little bit. And it's like, dude, God damn it.
Look at his hair. He's probably a drummer at the end of the day. I mean, let's be honest.
Dude, it's fantastic.
It
And
is.
being as big of an
Most
Elias
definitely
fan
lead
as I
singer of a
am,
grunge garage.
dude, it's just nice to see Elias back and being
Yes.
utilized like
Yep.
in a major story. I mean, it sounds funny saying a major storyline. This is one of the biggest storylines they have,
Yeah.
and one of the most enjoyable ones they have going on right now.
That's not actually supposed to be part of the story. Or that is actually supposed to be part of the story.
Exactly.
It worked out way better than I think they thought.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'll be honest, that first week and they brought him out, I'm like, this is fucking
Same.
stupid.
It was cringe, man.
how do you mean? How do you grow a beard that fast? They're two different people. He already had a beard.
Exactly.
you can clearly see that's a taped on.
That is a real beard.
That's definitely real. I mean,
If
they're
that
two
one
different
is
people.
because that, but that's
Look, that's
an old
exactly
picture.
how it looked on Monday.
Exactly.
That
They're,
is not.
no,
Pull that
that's the
picture
same
up.
night. They take these pictures the same night every
Look at that,
time.
look at that beard.
Look at that mustache. Are you serious?
Yeah,
Look
it's
at that.
clearly real.
Yeah, that's
Dude, I have a mustache. I know how I know how it
that
goes.
is two different people.
It's real. It's fine.
My bold prediction is SummerSlam. Elias and Ezekiel take the tag team titles off the Usos.
There you go.
That'd be a good
I
one.
like it. I
do
like
too.
it. I think their eyes are
I'm
different
waiting
colors.
on Strowman and the kid to come back.
The kid, Tyson kid.
No, well, whatever the fuck you want to
Oh, Nikki or something.
Oh, and,
Nikki.
and don't forget, John Cena will be back on.
We still won't see him.
This episode is This is the John Cena episode, so I'm gonna just randomly show his face.
Oh, for God's
I like
sakes.
it.
But
John Cena.
This,
He did.
this is fucking great.
He was
Like,
also in the news this week for his Make a
I
Wish.
will agree. It's actually one of the better storylines that they've had too. I mean, they're committed to it. I'm invested.
I told you,
wanna see where
Kofi,
it
they're
goes.
two different. They're fucking brothers. They're gonna be the tag team champions.
Before you
If
go
I
in.
would have known earlier, I would have had them on my list last week of best one of the. You know, there's not just one wrestling royal family. There's three: the Elias family, the Rhodes, and the McMahons.
Oh, for God's
Elias and Zeke are right up there.
I can't call Triple H the McMahons. he's definitely the McMahon.
But there's John Cena debuting 7 Central.
You
For
can't-
God's
Or
sakes.
re-debuting.
He did his 650th Make a Wish.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Okay.
Biggest celebrity or the most ever any celebrity's ever done.
That's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
Like, and the fact that he's still doing that with his new career is pretty solid, man.
That is cool.
Yeah, he flew to a fucking different country for,
Yeah.
for that one kid not too long ago too.
I think that's pretty neat.
That's awesome what he does.
This
for
is
those
why
kids.
they had this
It is.
debate on Busted Open the other day. Like, is he the best WWE superstar of all time? And they like broke down all he does. Like,
Hard to
it's-
say
It's
no.
hard to
It's
say
hard
he
to
isn't.
say no.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Accolades, he's got all of them.
Sure.
Make a wish, he does it.
He does
If
it
you
all.
needed the media shit, who does it?
Yep.
When you need to sell out an arena, God forbid that
Right,
Raw
Cena back,
was not
yep.
doing that great. They announced him that shit sold out for Monday.
Sure.
Like,
Yep.
he pushes tickets.
Let's think about this. Compare, because him and The Rock are the two biggest of all time. You can argue that they both have the same job now. They're both in the news this week. The Rock was in the news yet again for buying a family member a house. He bought Tamina a house.
Yep, to me in a house. Yep.
She's never gonna be able to afford one.
Good
Just
for him.
Getting
Oh.
fake married.
John Cena was in the news yet again for doing a Make-A-Wish.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying The Rock is a bad guy for buying Tamina a house, but why we got to post over social media?
Right.
You know what I mean? Meanwhile,
Quit
John
quit
Cena.
chasing the hug, Dwayne.
Meanwhile, John Cena's not posting that shit. Other people are.
Right.
So I think at the end of the day, both are good dudes. Don't get me wrong, but John Cena is just a little bit better than The Rock because I think The Rock likes the
attention.
yeah. Look what I did for
Oh,
somebody
you
else.
don't.
He
say.
wants people to brag on him.
Yeah, you know.
Cena's kind of private.
It's like he bought his mom a car. It was all over. I bought my mom a car. Look at this on
Mhm.
social media. All that stuff happens all the time. But good for him. I think
Right.
I'm not trash talking the guy for doing what he does, but I think John Cena does it more out of the purity of his heart.
Then
You know what I
for
mean?
the attention.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
helped more than feed the children at this point. He is feed the children.
Yeah.
They said that
I'm
like
not sure what that means.
Me either.
I mean, I don't think he gives them food. I think he like
He
meets
helps
them.
out.
Like
Yeah.
they asked him. It's kind of crazy. Out of all the professional athletes raised on the earth, he's the one they request.
Sure.
Like they asked
Yeah.
him. It's
Because
not
they're all
like
kids. They all every
Mhm.
kid.
But
listens
still,
to
but
this.
like, there's
legitimately
LeBron
the closest thing
James.
to a superhero, though. Like,
Yeah.
for what
Like,
he
there's
does.
LeBron James, Patrick Mahomes, all these like high profile athletes that like everybody they're universally loved. They're like, no, we want John Cena. Even as he's been out of wrestling pretty much for the last like at least 5 years, he comes and goes.
Sure.
He'll hit up Mania and hit up SummerSlam and put people over and do whatever. But
He is kind of like a
and he's
superhero,
about
like
to
superhero.
put fucking. He's gonna put Theory over.
Big
They're doing a
time.
fantastic job with Theory. We'll get to
yeah.
Theory.
It's just a theory.
But did I mention that Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns
You
fight
don't
each
have-
other
you don't
in a
have to
last
say that
man
again. We
standing
don't have to see
match?
Brock say
Where
it
I
again.
personally guarantee I'm gonna get. I'll see how bold I get because next week I might. If it doesn't happen, not next week. On July 28th will be our or 27th will be our last episode of RSH before SummerSlam.
Okay.
And how ballsy I feel. If
Holy
Seth
shit,
don't
4
cash in, I'll drop the belt.
Wow, you
That's
said it
how
live
much.
on this
That's
show.
how sure I am
Deal.
that Seth's gonna cash in.
You ready to lock that in?
No.
You better
I
think
said I
for a
got till-
couple of weeks.
said I got till
then.
July 27th.
All right.
But
You gotta
I'm
put
pretty
on Seth
fucking sure
Rollins.
they're going to WrestleMania cash in this 2.0.
I hope so. I do like that as a last man standing. It's been a while since we've seen one of them.
Mhm,
bad
it's
boys.
Well, God, I mean, out of the 13 matches these fuckers have had, they haven't had one of these surprisingly
Yeah.
yet. So it's nice.
It's been basic matches.
Because they're both basic people.
I'm keeping this photo on here
I like
forever.
You should.
Just
I like it.
whenever you need a cutscene.
Yeah.
And then,
It's nice to have brothers hanging out together. It's cool.
The only qualifying people this week was Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Rodriguez now. And
Same
then
thing.
Omos.
They just took one generic Mexican name and gave her the other generic Mexican name.
Omos.
I just realized that.
And then Omos won. And then they
Big
put
Bro.
Drew and Sheamus in.
Did Amos just like reach up and take it?
Or
Like
Omos-
the money in the bank. He just reach
Good
up.
Dude,
Dude,
they-
I'm
He's so
not
tall.
a huge fan of Giants, man. They just
Oh,
never-
he'll do some
Nah.
he'll do some cool shit in the match.
He was a replacement for Braun Strowman. He was a cheaper Braun Strowman.
What else happened? All right, so SmackDown. Madcap Moss beat Corbin again. McAfee and Corbin at SummerSlam.
Having issues.
Nice.
You all
I
ready?
saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because McAfee went the fuck off.
That's good. That's good for
In
McAfee.
Indianapolis. Yep. Where you
yeah.
played.
I feel like McAfee's got to be at all the major events now.
Yes.
That's an indie?
That,
Yeah.
last Friday was an Indy.
They were in Indy,
Mhm.
and Pat McAfee's pretty fucking over there.
Oh,
Being
God.
the
sure.
Colts punter. And
Being
shit.
he's from
they,
Indianapolis.
Dude, they fucking erupted. He started doing the Colts chant and shit.
I
He
bet.
called him bum ass Corbin chant started.
He's like,
Yeah.
Corbin sucks. He's like, let's boo him out of this stadium.
Let's boom out of this fuck. And he's dropping. McAfee's nuts.
Yeah.
McAfee's
I
fantastic.
He's
love
good.
McAfee.
Madcap Moss, I think, will be in the Money in the Bank at somehow.
Isn't that just Moss now?
No, they're still going to. I think they're just calling him Madcap.
Oh, I thought
I
they were
like
just
calling him
Moss.
just Moss. I don't like McAfee.
But on here it says Madcap Moss. Natalia
Fair
cut
enough.
a promo on Ronda Rousey. I'm sure it was terrible. New Day.
Ronda Rousey's
I
title
can't
reign has
lie.
been
I skipped
terrible.
through
Dude,
that.
she's old.
Raquel
It's been
Gonzalez and
terrible.
Shayna Baszler is actually pretty fine. Max Dupree said the lighting wasn't good enough, so he
Max
didn't debut his
Dupree.
first male model.
Good
Do
deal.
that next week.
Yeah, you gotta be fucking. Yeah, I get it. If you're
I
gonna be a
think-
model,
And then Riddle and Roman Reigns stole the fucking show.
They did.
I'm so
Um,
excited for Max Dupree.
Max
Yeah.
Dupree.
You know, LA Knight. I think they should have just left him as LA Knight.
Yeah, I agree.
He was so over with that. He had the chant with it, and then you're redoing the whole.
I didn't know they're the same person. To be honest with you, until right
I like
now.
LA Knight better.
so there's that.
Yeah,
I think
Whatever the
every
fuck
time
he
I hear
did.
that name, I think of Rene Dupree from like
Yeah,
La
yeah,
Resistance.
I wrote it
Yeah,
up.
remember last week he was like, "Are they related?" And I was like, "No,
Oh.
it's not even spelled the same."
See, there you go. I was wine drunk last week.
Oh, Lord.
I'll get you.
Yeah, so
Sneaky.
Riddle had the best performance of his young main roster career.
Mhm.
He did the get over without going over.
Was the
thing.
match really good?
Oh, dude, yeah.
It
was
And they got like
good.
45. They got fucking 40 minutes too.
Sure.
And Riddle held his own.
I'm sure he
That's
did.
why Reigns
He's a
is
real
doing
fighter.
Part-time shit because he's gonna do 40-minute matches.
Yeah.
Dude,
Where's you at?
it was the highest rated
I heard it was gonna be
last
a lot of
segment
ratings,
in
yeah.
like over a year. So
Thanks, Matt Riddle.
like they're set like
No
keep-
shoe wearing.
it's
mother.
keeping Roman fucking off when he does show up. More people tune in than normal.
I think people tuned in for this one mostly because it was loaded. Between Vince showing up for the first time since that
See, the
shit
Vince
came out.
showing up got like 2 million. The Reigns Riddle got like 2.7. So
Yeah.
like it surprisingly outdid I thought the Vince segment would outdo it.
I
Just
think
because
it's-
of all the controversy surrounding Vince, but Roman's obviously a fucking draw.
Roman is firing on every cell, even at
Roman's
house
a
shows.
draw.
Like the videos and stuff that I see, like the way he talks shit to the live crowds, the way he just.
Mhm.
I do, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything he does.
I'll
has
give you
been
that.
Just.
I saw him talking
heel
shit to that
Roman
kid.
Is the
Yeah.
best Roman. I
Sure.
will never
Yeah.
want to see him.
He
face
talked
again.
shit to that kid. I got 7.2 million views on YouTube.
They
Like,
did.
Oh, are you talking about the one where he did the dirty look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Lord.
like,
He looked back at him,
match? Yeah.
Got back at him like,
Roman's.
Like it's things like
I
that.
agree.
He gets you invested, and like
He didn't used to
he's
do
not
Sure.
bad in the because he was a fucking boring baby
A
face.
boring baby
They
face. Yep.
wanted him to show up and save the day,
Like John Cena. It was the
Oh.
John Cena effect.
right? But
Don't
he
be
he
disrespectful.
can't talk and move
Like John Cena could.
No,
Right. I agree.
He was a filler, and I think this Roman is
John Cena.
this Roman is what we should have had from the get go.
I'm
I
sure.
agree.
If you go back years, maybe it was smarter if he would have made the
Wait,
heel turn
you didn't
instead of
think he should have kept using the Shield music and wearing the Shield attire for 5 years after the Shield broke up? Doesn't make any sense to you?
I mean, he was just a tactical kind of guy.
Like the
with
big
his-
boss man gear?
Big dog.
Oh, I wonder who's gonna come down and like, oh,
All they did was take out the Echo, Delta, blah, blah.
I do think it's funny. Seth had like 7 different entrances. Ambrose had the most. Ambrose's fucking entrance is like a generic ringtone you'd find on your phone
Yeah,
when you buy it.
that Rick Razor
Like-
music. Like, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of his music, to be honest with you.
I will say I do love the Wild thing
I do too.
in AEW.
I love it.
That's what he comes out to. So
Yeah.
And he still comes to the
Wild
crowd
thing
too.
kind of peaked after Major League with me, but that's just.
He comes
personal.
out of the
That's fair.
crowd. It's
I'm-
really awesome.
I'm personally not a fan, and this even
I
counts
mean,
CM Punk.
Charlie Sheen using it, John Moxley. It's like
I'm not a fan of like
Charlie
real,
Sheen, John
real
Moxley.
music being entrance themes. I like unique songs. It's like when he came out of Cult of Personality with CM Punk. I mean, I like unique songs. Does that make sense?
I mean, like their own shit.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, and-
What the fuck else? No, go ahead.
no, that, I
Fucking
mean that
awesome
makes
with that.
sense. But like at that time, in that fashion,
and that
that worked.
sure,
damn
and
it.
that the way it all played
The
out.
Wild thing.
Sure.
So it's more. If you haven't heard it, it's more like a change. It. So like how they always the Heart Foundation, right? They changed
Sure,
values and made it more like a rock
Sure.
kind of thing.
like the string, the guitar to Bret Hart's music. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same thing with this.
It's-
more
as a
like
remix.
rock, grungy.
I've
yeah,
heard it,
so
yeah.
it's not bad.
I
but
get it.
it's-
I
and I
get
get
you.
what you're saying too. That you want it authentic.
I like
You want it
authenticity.
To them, true to them.
Authenticity. I don't like Charlotte's entrance because it's just like Rick's remix, just like the ties and Rick's and Brett's.
Yep.
I
They
just
did the
can't.
same thing with Curtis Axel too with the hitting entrance. Like when we were trying to push him with him, and they did
Yeah,
the same thing. I
Same
remember
idea,
that.
I still
Just
feel-
more bass.
right?
Just, brrr.
To be fair, back when he debuted, bass was a big deal.
Yeah,
So
fair point.
Just she has a penis. Like I don't.
why are we talking about penises? Oh, is Vince around?
No, you brought up Charlotte.
oh, same
Josh
thing.
was missing Charlotte. She'll be back in
For
August.
those of you that missed it last week, her and Rick were my number 6 honorable mention and the best father-son duos in WWE history.
Well, too
Yeah,
bad.
Lord.
She'll be back in August, so you'll be happy.
So I
With a fucked up kneecap.
my new job at work requires me to do a lot more at the computer, so I listen to a lot more podcasts.
Nice.
Not, outside of your guys, I listen to a lot of the Austin ones now
Yeah.
that I haven't got to catch up on.
Nice.
And I listen to Becky Lynch's about the title exchange and the shoot. It's just like that's why you get a bad rap at who you are. That's
Yep.
why Flair is in the predicament he's in, where he's got to go wrestle a retirement match. Probably because
Yep.
he's broke. Because no,
Always is.
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Always
And then
gotta
you
do.
burn so many bridges, and
Yep.
it's like doing shit like that. Like
Yep.
at this point, I don't
Hello.
care that you're a Flair. Becky is by far better
Better.
than you.
Absolutely. All day. Dude,
In
Charlotte.
ring work, Charlotte's the best,
Well,
arguably the best woman wrestler I've ever
and
watched.
Arguably, yes.
She is. Yep.
Oh, you
she
can't
is.
overlook the fact that Becky Lynch is a female. But anyways,
You call Becky Lynch
mean,
a
I-
female?
a female.
Oh, if y'all said
Like-
she-male, I was like, whoa.
Like every time they're like
I was
Charlotte,
like, what'd she do?
it's fighting for the women's champion. It's like this transgender shit's getting
Oh
out of
my
control.
The problem with Charlotte, I mean, there's many.
Goddamn Andy Kaufman.
One of my biggest problems with Charlotte, one, she's only like a year older than me, so I'm like, we have the same headspace, but she's like rich and stuff. But
That is a factor.
you know, but one, she's like, I'm famous not because of my dad, because of my own skills. She wears the robe like her dad, has the same music like her
She
dad,
does.
does the same moves as her dad, and claims to be
Has the
not
same
famous
drop
because of
tracks
her
on this
dad.
or that.
Yeah, and the same Adam's apple as her dad.
And her-
Uh,
they wear the same size condom.
I think Charlotte's is going to be bigger. Look how shriveled up Rick is these days.
Oh, jeez.
That's
I try not to
Andre
look at
Alito,
Rick.
though.
That's not camel toe. That's the fucking camel.
Oh,
I hate Ric Flair,
but
by
in
the
all
way.
I
seriousness,
can't
like
stand him.
she's probably the best female wrestler.
She's really good at what she does.
I mean, when
She
she's in the ring,
She's athletic as fuck.
She is. I agree.
She
I
is.
want to use that term female as loose as her nude pictures.
Dude, she can play football. Like, she's good. Like, she's ripped. She's athletic.
She
She's
is.
She'd
tall.
be the best player on the
but
Jaguars.
When you're a See You Next Tuesday, I don't want to say that on live on air, but when you're See You Next Tuesday, it's kind of like Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard's probably the second best female wrestler in the world.
But
right
she's
now.
racist.
And a piece of shit as a person.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, Paulie wasn't as good as Rick.
Sure.
So that's why she's been in Mexico hiding away.
Good point. Yeah.
And Charlotte's able to do whatever the fuck she please, like take 4 months off for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then come back and get the title put exactly back on her because that's exactly what's going to happen.
And then get
Yvonne's in the
pissy
mic.
when
Yvonne likes
somebody else
Charlotte.
has.
I do
No
like
matter
Charlotte.
how
Yep,
much
I do.
hate comes from a general
She had a
section,
fucking Charlotte
she's still a draw
I do.
because she puts on the best matches.
She does.
There was a time when I liked Charlotte too. I hated her. Then I was like, she's actually pretty good. And then she runs her fucking mouth and talks. I'm like, well,
There was that.
But
There
on the
was that.
backside, that's what you want out of a heel, right? Because she can't be a face.
see, she can't. There's two.
Look at her.
There's two
That's
kinds of
so
heels.
disgusting.
There's a heel that you love to hate, like Seth Rollins.
You have to
Right.
like
And then
it.
there's a
Okay.
shitty person who can't even be professional on live television because somebody is also popular.
You have a
Right.
And that's how
Jones
Charlotte
Jones.
is.
Good
Look at her
lord.
knee.
Seth would never do that to anybody in the
Look at
ring.
him looking up pictures of
Look at her
Charlotte.
knee.
Seth would over Cody Rhodes happily when he should be like, fuck you. You went to AEW for 6 years. You know what I mean? But Seth did it properly. Charlotte
you ain't gonna
can't do that.
Sasha. Oh, Sasha won't either. But fucking
Ooh.
Charlotte won't either.
She's never going to.
I'm saying is like
That was-
Sasha is a big
that's-
baby.
Sorry, I obviously haven't been on in months. So what did you guys think of that?
I thought it was stupid.
It was stupid.
It's unprofessional and
Yeah.
stupid.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Naomi,
Sasha.
Sasha.
Naomi.
Oh, also, I think it's just I think Sasha's stupid. I think Sasha's
Mhm.
ego is bigger than it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been saying
I
that
don't
since
think
day
she's
one.
as good as she thinks she is.
Absolutely
I agree.
correct.
Yeah.
She's like, I was on that Disney Plus TV show about Star Wars where I stood around for 3 episodes, and I am bigger than
No,
everybody
Just
else.
Even her in-ring work
Not
wasn't
good.
that great.
She weighs 4 pounds. Every move she does looks like it wouldn't hurt anybody.
What's that new
compare
chick's
her to
name
Red Velvet from
in
AEW,
NXT?
There you go.
And
The one
I
that
think
run
they're
the
about
breakout tournament.
same size, same.
Rosanna,
Roxette. What the
Roxette.
fuck's her name?
Yeah.
Sasha has more draw,
Yes,
right?
she does.
She's got more pizzazz. She's got it.
Sure.
Like she's on every fucking episode of Botchamania
Yeah.
Yeah.
on YouTube.
She
like
sucks,
she
dude.
has fucked something up.
She's like, I'm Snoop Dogg's niece, and I'm popular as fuck.
Every time she won a title, she lost it right away. She had the worst title.
This would
She
be
did.
this
ever.
would be an argument for a
Ever.
different day.
Sure.
Maybe off air because I want to argue that AEW's women division might be better than the
No,
I
women's
disagree.
right now.
you're fucking.
I just-
I mean, to be fair, I haven't watched women's
Are
division
you
over a
just
year.
swallowing that grizzly hole?
Unless they've like improved over the past year.
Jade Cargill is
I
solid.
can't attest to that, I guess.
Jade Cargill is like the Black Charlotte. I'm convinced she has a penis as well.
Jesus.
Ruby Soho was underused in WWE.
Ruby
Ruby
She-
Soho
Ruby
still
Soho.
isn't being used right there.
Her lives tag
That's
team.
fair, but she's much better than Britt Baker. Might be the best in-ring women's wrestler.
She's the
right
best
now.
wrestler on AEW.
Yeah.
women's
I don't
wrestling,
think. I think
period.
Becky's a great draw. I don't think she's a great in-ring wrestler.
Becky?
I don't think
Britt Baker's
She's
the
got the
best one
heel
on
down where
AEW.
she can slow the match down now,
Sure.
and it looks better. But if she's
It's
trying
like
to mount offense, she doesn't have.
it's like Becky.
To be fair, when it comes to professional wrestling, I don't care if you're the best in-ring competitor. I want to see if you can tell the story in the ring like that. That makes me excited.
AEW told a great
But
story with Thunder Rosa and then kept her off TV for 3 months.
That's true.
And-
too.
Like-
exactly.
But I think again, there she is too. That's why I think
They potentially
work-wise-
could be better,
yes.
Yeah, they can't.
We'll say that.
but Tony Khan's a fucking idiot.
He is.
But
He
But
doesn't
anyway,
care.
so
I don't
Sasha
understand
Banks.
how you put a fucking belt on somebody and take
Sorry,
them off
that's a
TV for 3
conversation another
months.
day. I tend to get you guys off your schedule as normal.
Oh.
Josh has it all lined out, and
Yeah,
then
he
if Bennett
does.
comes in. That's
I'm
why
not good at it either.
I don't get invited very often.
You're
Josh.
fuck- You're good.
I'm apparently a dickhead nowadays, so don't take offense to
Yeah.
it.
I was called that last weekend because I'm bald. And I'm like, your head looks like a dick. I'm like, I remember junior
I
high.
didn't mean literally. Fuck. You're like your hair's black and now your soul.
I know you're not black anymore.
It's still black.
Oh,
Did you dye your hair black?
Yeah.
He did.
I don't have social media either, guys, so I'm very out of the loop on life. So if you guys don't text me,
that happens.
They announced Shinsuke versus Sami Zayn for
That'd
Friday
be a
on
good
SmackDown
match.
and a Money in the Bank
Sami
qualifier.
Zayn better
Yeah.
win that.
Hopefully, Sami
That's
Zayn
actually
wins.
going to be a good match.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Remember when they were together and Sami like jumped really, really high during his entrance?
I remember when they had like one of the best matches I've seen in NXT back in the day when they fought.
I mean, I believe that. They're
Takeover.
both really, really good.
That's back when I used to
Sami
make you watch
Zayn-
takeovers.
I remember them
Sami
days.
Zayn is a great character.
He is.
He's also, yeah, I
Yeah.
watch. I mean, I like,
We were
I like
talking
the
about
idea of
this last week.
The story, right? Tell the
Sure.
story in the ring.
That's what pro wrestling
But
is.
you got to have good in-ring work. Like,
To
there's
tell
some-
that story.
right?
Yeah.
And guys like Sami Zayn.
All
Sami
day.
Zayn is going to be such a big baby.
Let's not
face.
forget his debut match on Raw. He beat John Cena. back
did.
in 2014 or 13, whatever year it was. But I think it was 14.
He's going to be a huge babyface when
Absolutely.
the bloodline eventually just beats the fuck out of him.
Roman's
Yep.
gonna beat the crap.
And then
out
he's
of
going to
him.
be babyface and he's going to be over as fuck.
Which he already was before they
He
turned
gets
him heel.
cheered
He's
now.
always over.
He gets
Yeah.
cheered now.
People
He
like
is.
Sami Zayn.
And
dude.
then when he changes his music back, it's going to be over with. 'Cause then they're all going to sing along with it.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, he's
What else
awesome.
happened? All right, so SmackDown, Riddle and Reigns stole the fucking show, which
Sure.
it was Riddle's like
He's had a lot of challenge
breakout
for the belt.
moment. Like Riddle's had a hell of a year.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think WWE has hit a NXT call up as well as they've hit Riddle.
Riddles,
In
absolutely.
recent memory, I can't really think of one they've hit that fucking
I
well
can't
right out
either.
of
I
the
mean,
park.
Kevin Owens was
Kevin
Universal
Owens,
Champion,
that's
but
it.
That was
the
probably
first
the
one that
last
comes to
one because he
mind.
fucking
That was it.
powerbombed Cena and stepped on his belt.
yeah.
I think Nakamura was solid.
he never really did that potential though. Like
Mhm.
They ever Pete.
just a New
To what he
Japan guy.
showed.
I mean, the fact he lost AJ Styles at the WrestleMania, I think, is what people are
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
And it was underwhelming.
And then nothing happened. But yeah, I think Kevin Owens was the biggest one.
Probably.
Riddle's taking that.
But
taking that
Riddle's
title.
fucking erupted. Like he's a star. Him and Seth at SummerSlam is going to be fucking great.
Yeah, no, I can.
And that I think it's cool how they had
Think
real
about a
life.
year ago
See,
with
that's the
shit
thing
on
about
it.
Seth.
I
Remember
hate him.
2 years ago,
Hate him
Seth
so much.
wouldn't fight him. That's why he sacrificed
Mhm.
himself.
Yeah.
And now Seth's like, we buried it under the bridge.
Well, now Riddle,
Sasha Banks would have fucking walked out and been like, "No, I ain't
Probably.
fighting that
Yeah,
bitch."
she would've.
Seth's like, "It's cool."
Riddle was talking the talk before he walked the walk. Now he literally barefooted the walk, and he's
Oh, dude, and I
Yeah.
love how they.
As much shit as he talks, I feel like he's super professional. Like if he got lined up with a Lesnar or even a Goldberg, all the
That's
shit
his
he
goal.
talks,
He wants
would-
both of them.
He would
He
take
does.
the job,
oh,
right?
sure,
He would
absolutely.
get beat in 30 seconds
He'd
and
be all
do
about
it
it.
properly
Yep.
and be fine with it.
And he'll go back to
Mhm.
Vince like, "Thanks, bro."
And he's also one of the only guys who can actually legit fight those guys because he's
Yeah,
a
he
fucking
would.
real fighter.
Yep.
Like he's a professional guy. He did have a rape charge that one time, but it got dropped. So I feel like it was bullshit. So I back him.
And then Raw, Carmella.
She beat him.
So Rhea Ripley's injured. So Carmella won. So this is a
The perks of
Let's
sleeping
have
with
somebody,
Corey Graves.
beat. So Bianca versus Carmella is now at Money in the Bank.
Oh boy,
Which-
I wonder who will win.
Money in the Bank
Exactly.
is Carmella's
Exactly.
pay-per-view. She's never lost there.
She never had.
until
She's
this
a
time, but-
two-time Money in the Bank winner too.
Yeah, and we were there for one of them.
We were.
And then what else happened on Raw? Vince came out. We talked about that.
We
Omos
did the
beat Riddle. We
Vince
talked
strip.
about that. Bobby Lashley beat the fuck out of Theory.
He did.
Theory took some shots at John Cena. I wonder where they're going with this. And then,
we
yeah,
already had Twitter account as well.
we talked about Elias segment started off. Lashley won a gauntlet match,
That's fun.
which made him qualify for the U.S. title, which he will fight. We have a graphic for that too. People watching or listening, not with picture, we apologize.
That is a cool picture.
For all you audio listeners out there,
It's
we
a pretty
have
cool graphic.
So,
Yeah, that's right. Audio listeners. That's what the fuck you
Cena
guys are.
comes out, right? Calls Theory that, and then they go into the match
Good.
without the title and put the title on Lashley.
I don't know. Will we actually see John Cena cost him? I don't think
I don't
so.
think
Just play his
I don't
music
think
and
so.
walk out there.
I mean, I don't
He
think so.
could. He
I-
could.
could.
See, they don't. He doesn't need the belt.
He does.
Right. Like you go to SummerSlam to
Like-
Cena.
Like it's like
Theory.
Theory didn't win at Mania, but nobody really fucking cares because he had such an epic
Sure,
moment.
right,
So
right,
it could be
yeah.
one of those things where it's just like da, 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 and it's like, come on, John. He turns around and gets in the Hurt Lock and passes out.
Yeah,
Or
Then that starts their feud. Like, so, you calls my shit, Cena.
I'm gonna make yours.
See, I don't think John Cena would actually do that. That's not the John Cena way to physically cost somebody. So maybe
Well, he doesn't. I mean, what?
So maybe Theory will just be running his fucking mouth like, "Come on, John Cena, come get me."
I think Cena gets
yeah,
beat down.
he'll-
By,
okay.
I
He'll be
think-
distracted
yeah.
that way.
I think Theory beats down John Cena this week,
Thank
Sure, that could be.
and
He
then
does.
Cena. That's how he gets his shit back.
It could be. I just don't think John Cena's going to actively interfere. I feel like
I don't know,
Theory
he's
is going to be
done it
distracted by
before,
the fact
though,
John
when he's
Cena's
come
there.
out and hit the AA and
Maybe afterwards, but John
No,
Cena wouldn't.
he's done it to cost that.
Not against guys like him though.
That's true.
I mean, he
Lashley's physically dominating too, so that's the other thing. I don't think this is going to be a very like
I think the theme
face
song
gets
thing
some
could
work
work.
in.
It could.
I feel like if Theory loses, it's going to be because Theory is legit distracted by John Cena being existent, and then he'll be like run his mouth on camera. Come on, John, where you at? And then by being that distracted, Lashley will get the win. If we're
Should
gonna,
get the title.
if
to
we'll draft the
Mustafa
title.
Ali.
fuck Ali. I just don't care. I never liked the guy. Nothing against him. I'm sure he's a fine human being, but
AJ Styles beat Ciampa,
Styles won a match. Oh my
Yeah, I don't
gosh.
like that either.
and Asuka beat Becky Lynch in a pretty decent
But he
main
won a
event.
match for
And then
once.
Becky
AJ
started
Styles
freaking
Yeah.
the
never
fuck
happens,
out.
does it?
And he was on Miz TV too.
So yeah,
Did the Judgment Day do anything on Raw this week?
they were on main event this week. They got moved due to time restraints.
Ooh,
Wow.
Vince does not like Finn Balor at
He
all,
does
dude.
not, does he?
Anything Finn Balor is a part of.
He just has no respect
Yeah,
for
but
what he
they
does.
said not to look into it too much because Ripley was a late scratch, which kind of fucked
Sure,
shit
she
up.
injured herself.
They're
Yeah, yeah,
selling
yeah.
And then the Brood Edge versus Demon Balor is still the reported match for SummerSlam.
Thank
So
God.
they're
Fair
not.
enough.
They have not given up on Judgment Day.
Oh,
Fair
God.
enough.
So, fun fact, Phil
No, Jesus.
texted me
Former guest of the
It's
show.
never-
probably like, I don't know, a month or so ago.
Sure.
And literally sent me a paragraph breaking down this exact fucking storyline.
Oh, for God's sake.
Exactly how it's played out.
Oh, jeez.
It's exciting.
Like, just fucking good job, Phil. Fuck you, but good job. Like, but called it. Called the Balor coming out and joining Judgment Day.
Oh, he got it before it happened?
Yeah.
Nice,
Yes.
nice.
So good call on that. And I'm not mad about it.
No, Brood Edge versus
That's cool.
Demon Balor
That'd be a good
gonna
match.
crush.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. So that's it for the catching up on Raw and SmackDown. So John Cena does come back next week. So today,
Hey, if you
tonight's
guys didn't know.
episode
If you
is
didn't know, we'll tell
Bam.
you again.
the
Now you
top
see 'em.
5 John Cena moments of his career. Just a long time. That's a lot of.
A lot of
20
moments.
years. And he was full time.
That's a long time. He was full time for a long time.
He was, yeah.
Every house show,
Yeah.
every pay per view,
For like 15
every Raw,
years. Yeah.
every SmackDown.
So that's. I mean, 5 moments is quite a bit to
650
really break
Make-A-Wishes.
down.
It's hard to
Like-
pick his moments because he has so much.
Reeve,
It's tough.
Regis and Kelly, the fucking whatever the fuck you need
Who
to
hasn't
do.
been on Regis and
I'm
Kelly?
just
That
saying,
is
every
true.
he's
Now
probably
it's
been on
Kelly
it
and
200
Mike
fucking
without
times.
it.
Like
Okay.
anytime they needed a media guy,
He was the
he was
guy.
the guy that went.
He was.
The Miz does too.
Yeah, the Miz couldn't hold John Cena's dick.
Hey, the Miz is doing just
I mean, the
fine.
Miz has
thank you.
small balls. As
The Miz doesn't need
his own
you.
problem.
He's over
It's
Reese's
tiny.
boobies.
It's tiny.
Who's this tiny? How
It
do
was
you know?
fun. Fuck, that's because, goddamn, it probably wasn't on Hulu because they made fun of Miz's balls 2 weeks
They called
ago.
him tiny.
And then
Styles said something.
yeah,
about
Styles did.
Yeah,
And then this week,
saw
Styles
that.
was like, "Hey, Miz, we all know you got small balls. Can you look for him in or purse or something?" You know when
Yeah.
And
Styles.
Maurice's purse. And he put.
Styles isn't the best on the mic.
Anytime Styles
No,
cuts
he
a promo,
isn't.
look, Styles, Miz TV started. Styles came out. He started talking. I fell asleep.
Nah,
And I didn't
nah.
wake back up.
That's fair.
So,
That happens.
He did put Miz's sunglasses on.
2K's
It
got
was
him
pretty
rated as a 3 on promo skills.
yeah, 3 of what, 10?
It's pretty bad.
I mean, he's not the best. I'll
But he's
say
still
that.
he's still phenomenal.
I love me some AJ
I do
Styles.
too.
He's just that damn good despite his mic skills,
Yeah, exactly.
which is saying something in WWE.
He's still phenomenal.
Yeah, because
That's all that
they
matters.
care.
The Rock is that good because of his mic skills. AJ is that good despite his mic skills.
Exactly.
So, top 5 John Cena moments. Who's starting it?
I'll go first
Go
because
ahead.
that's how I have them in order. 'Cause I pulled pictures for this.
Of course you did.
It's John. It's the greatest wrestler. It's the
Your
greatest
favorite look. You got the whole
WWE
outfit on
superstar
and
of all
everything.
time. Well, I mean, I was like, "Why are you wearing that shirt?" It's like
It's John Cena.
John
I
Cena's
know.
episode.
Yeah, makes sense.
Out of all the hundreds you
Number
have,
5,
Wait, you could see his shirt? I couldn't even see it.
I wish I did.
2008 Royal Rumble return.
Got that on mine.
Nobody expected it.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
So I pulled up like a bunch of different fucking sites
I
that
did the
had
same thing.
various
Same.
things, and this was super low on there. So they can fuck off.
That was a cool moment.
They have it as
That was
15th,
awesome.
but they also have like shit such as winning the United States title at Night of Champions being rated higher, and it's fucking
Holy
weird to me.
crap.
Yeah, that's just
But
kind of
this was
after the fact.
unexpected. Triple H's expression told everything.
Yep.
And then he
Absolutely.
won.
Yep.
So
Like he was supposed to be gone for like a year, and he's gone for like what 4 months or
yeah,
something.
He
like,
came
he
back
came back
quick.
way
Same
ahead.
injury as Cody Rhodes.
Oh, nice.
And the pop.
well,
Was
let's see
fucking
how
ridiculous.
tough Cody really
Yeah.
is.
Exactly.
And then we talked about Christian earlier.
Oh,
Christian.
that was-
His debut on his arrival
Oh,
on Raw.
I kind of remember
During the
that.
highlight
Yep.
reel.
I remember
He called Christian a creepy little bastard.
Yep.
that was
And Jericho
hilarious.
was there. That was before Jericho was a Tony Khan dick sucker,
Yeah.
like he is now. I think Tyson Tomko was with Christian at this
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
Mhm, it was.
he
yep.
got in trouble for robbing a liquor store at some point.
Oh,
See,
That's
that's
a name drop.
that's a criminal act I can stand by. Like
I mean, he didn't sell liquor; he stole cash.
it reminds me of that Eminem song. He
Somebody
decided to
like-
rob.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe he's the one Dr. Dre's talking about in Guilty Conscience.
Could
He
be.
decided to rob a liquor store.
Yeah,
for-
that
for
happened.
God's
Tyson
sakes.
Tomko,
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Dr. Dre. Never thought I'd see them together.
That was
I
a
like his
funny
tats.
And then this was I could have been a dick and made this number 1, but I did not. When he made The Rock his bitch at WrestleMania 29.
moment. Oh, of course.
And-
something about
You
being
mean
The Rock.
after the Rock made him his bitch at WrestleMania 28?
The Rock cheated.
Exactly.
The Rock cheated. How did The Rock cheat?
He didn't cheat.
And
He
then
pinned him with a people's elbow, the weakest move in wrestling history.
The Rock,
So now The Rock cheats.
you know, John Cena has since resurrected the franchise The Rock got killed in the Fast and Furious.
Oh, for
And
God's
went
sake.
on
Let's
to-
not brag about that appearance.
We have an episode talking about that.
Yeah, John Cena.
And then Vin Diesel looks so like.
I mean, John Cena would be my first inductee into the Fast and Furious Hall.
I'm
of
glad I
Fame.
haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious. I still haven't.
You haven't seen any of
Over
the Fast
Paul
and
Walker.
Furious?
Paul Walker, he can't be in the Hall of Fame. He is dead.
Oh my
So-
God.
It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, guys. Winning is winning.
You know that song?
Just saying.
We'll never see him again.
You think you had me?
Oh
You
my
never
God,
had
that's
me.
true.
You never had your car.
That's right where I belong. Never
All right.
felt. You know what else you can't see? John Cena or Paul Walker.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
true.
God, that's
I mean,
true.
not after 2013.
John Cena, quick segue, won his first WWE title, which I do like that belt. It's the old fucking like undisputed title.
like that.
A lot
I
of people
think
do.
Taker was more famous for carrying it because he had it most of
I
the
think
time.
JBL made that one pretty famous,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yep. Their feud was pretty big. So he won this from JBL WrestleMania 20.
He did.
So WrestleMania 20, he won his first title off the Big Show,
Yeah, I got
being
that
the
on
U.S.
mine.
title.
Yeah, buddy.
And then a
Yeah,
year
that-
later,
Yeah, spinner.
that's normally how it used to be. You'd win the IC title, then you'd drop that, and you'd
Go
move
to the
on.
bigger
Progression.
Which I would love to see Gunther make that jump.
I do
Yeah,
too.
that'd be
We'll
nice.
get into him
That'd
here
be awesome.
shortly. And then, I mean, number one's pretty
I
obvious.
got that on mine.
Ruthless.
I mean, his debut smacked the fuck out of Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle talked about this the other day,
Sure.
and he was like, "I didn't want to work with this guy. He's a cocky, arrogant prick." But we had these four guys in we had these four guys. What is OVW back then?
Yep.
So we had this guy named John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, and Batista. It's like
Hey, Batista.
he's like, we might have something here, and then like all four of them are most. I mean, they're all
famous.
going to be in the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame.
Absolutely.
Like Shelton Benjamin's the one that's kind of like, but he'll get in.
No,
He'll
he's
get in.
But
been around. He was with Kurt Angle, the team
Team
Angle.
Angle.
Team
Yeah.
Angle. Yep.
yeah,
Charlie
ruthless
House.
Greatest tag
aggression.
team.
He smacked the fuck out of him. Really good match.
He lost,
And then he won. Yeah,
but
he put him on the
I
map.
forgot he won Money in the
And then it
Bank. I forgot.
transitioned to one of Chuck's moments, which we'll get into when we do his.
I
Yeah,
forgot.
My
buddy.
honorable mention was when he beat Brock Lesnar in 2012
Anyway, beat
because
Brock
nobody
Lesnar.
thought
Extreme Rules.
yeah, it was a returning
Yeah.
Brock,
Yeah.
and nobody thought Cena would win.
We were like, why did John Cena win that match?
Yeah, like-
Exactly.
The debut of the spinner because
Oh,
that
I
belt
love
that belt
That was going to be on my
withstood
moments, but
time
I
for a
didn't.
long. It was a
Yeah.
title for a
I
long.
love
was
that.
even after John Cena's reign. It was,
And then when he tossed Edge all into the Long Island Sound.
Yeah.
That was fun.
and that made Edge sick because there's a nasty ass
And
river.
his favorite match. I like when they used to do his best of five with him and Booker T and him and MVP.
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
But MVP actually won that best of five, but he beat Booker T.
Yep.
But
Fair enough.
anyway,
Cool.
he hit him with some of these moments.
All
were
good moments.
Ignorant, beating the Rock.
Ignorant.
Yeah, it's like he AA'd Batista off a car. Like that's not like a better moment than returning from the. So that they had that ranked higher than him returning at the 2008 Royal Rumble. Like,
I mean, it just depends. The surprising.
hold on, who
moments.
wrote this? Connor Casey, you stupid fuck. This
Yeah,
is a
they-
terrible list.
People named
Don't
Connor.
go to comicbook.com. That must have been really hard to come
Connor
up with.
Cassidy.
To be fair, comic books are like the highest rated movies.
No,
of
I
all time.
agree, but like he named his website comicbook.com. I'm sure he really stayed up late.
It makes sense. People will go to it. It's basic. It's good.
No,
it's easy
John
to
Cena
type.
is not a comic book.
I mean, he kind of is. Superhero.
Oh, look, there's Vince jumping. Oh shit!
Vince is not
They
a
put him in the
superhero.
back street. They put him in
That
that
is
sink.
funny.
Is he going bye bye bye?
Yeah. Look, there's him and Mario.
He's literally going bye.
If you follow the RSH,
Oh
oh my
my
God, there's him as Joker.
I saw that one earlier. He's losing his
He
fucking
gets
mind.
him get out of jail free card.
Oh my.
He does need that maybe.
Look, he's skateboarding.
Oh my gosh.
Dude's losing his
Who
mind.
the heck?
Yeah, you're gonna keep talking shit
Who
about
the heck is
comicbook.com.
that?
That's all their memes.
Dude,
Right? It's like
Vince-
fuck these guys. Oh, they're
If you
hilarious.
follow the RSH Twitter at RSH Wrestling, I'll retweet a shit ton of those
That's
later.
what
They're pretty funny.
They are pretty.
You can
funny.
follow us on Twitter at RSH Wrestling. I don't know if at whatthebuzz.com even has a fucking Twitter at this point.
Yeah, I don't know either. I
Me
know.
either.
It's on there, so
But we have one.
go
Yeah, good RSH.
go to the RSH one.
That's
Fuck-
what we're
That's
active
your
on.
best, your best.
hashtag fuck the buzz, hashtag free MJF, and hashtag Tony Khan's coat. Trends.
Anyway, who's next, Josh? For the top 5 John Cena best moments of all time.
I think it's Yvonne.
Have at it.
I don't know.
Me?
Hold on. Yeah, it's Yvonne.
All right.
Yep, it is.
I gotta say what you do.
Change all the damn banners.
As she yawns on the microphone like
I
she's
know.
so
No, you
bored.
didn't. This one's
I'm
different.
not born, I promise.
shit. Hold on.
Oh, good boy.
Is that Braun Strowman?
You can't. I can't.
That's Elias?
That's Elias. It's
Oh.
a
Okay.
Poor Elias. He's getting
There we
the
It's the same one as Josh. Returned 2008 Triple H's expression tells it all. I mean,
I didn't think he'd be back at this.
nobody did.
No.
And Triple H was like the favorite to win that match.
Besides
too.
Triple H's look on his face, everybody in the ring's face, they stopped and
And
looked at
the
John
ovation.
Cena. Yeah.
The pop.
I mean, whenever you get a surprise entrance, that's one thing I kind of miss about WWE these days and professional wrestling in general. You get that surprise pop.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love having a surprise entrance. It makes it more fun.
This one, I forgot about 4.
I did too. So I remember I always liked John Cena's Dr. Thugonomics gimmick that he did.
Can't
I was
see
there.
me.
It was loud.
You're at this Mania?
Yeah.
That's
Oh
cool.
my goodness.
It was
beat up Elias.
It was absolutely ridiculous how loud it was.
I don't remember it.
It was
It was
loud.
awesome. He came out and
It was a
verbally
great way
assaulted
to
him.
get brought back up. I think there was a down
Mhm.
match in between there.
Oh.
And that was a way to.
That's right. It wasn't a match. It was
Yeah.
just him coming up to he's
He
interfering with the
interrupted
concert.
Elias.
Elias had a concert.
That's right. I do remember that.
Yep, and he
Because
came
then the
out.
next night, Elias went on the fucking Raw and was like, "I'm sick of this shit."
I remember
Yeah.
And
that.
then he
Yeah.
said something
That
about
was the All
the
Women's
Undertaker.
main event.
He said
That's right.
he said something related to
Mhm.
like the Undertaker, and then Undertaker's music hit. He came out Tombstone Elias, so he got AA
Yeah.
by Cena,
and Tombstone by
and the Doctor Thugonomics, and the Undertaker beat his ass. That's
The
where
next-
like, damn,
yeah.
they must like Elias. They're putting him with all the fucking like huge stars.
Yeah, he,
Turns out his brother's better. But anyway.
Well, I now I have to raise the question: where was Ezekiel during this?
Exactly.
he was an employee yet. You can't just show
Yeah,
up.
Save
sure
your
you can.
brother.
Like Gronk jumped the barrier and beat up Jinder Mahal, who's a WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah, well known.
You have to be you have to be a celebrity already, and Ezekiel wasn't yet.
Ezekiel is a celebrity.
He is now.
Look at this match card for WrestleMania 35. Tony Nese versus Buddy Murphy.
Great.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
The women's battle royal. Solana's no longer there. Ruby Riot's no longer there.
Jeez.
That's
Sarah
a whole, I'm
Logan's
sure that's a
longer
big
there.
list already. Yeah.
Mandy Rose ain't there. She's on NXT.
That's it. Mickey James. There's actually only a couple.
Oh, nice.
Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins
Nah,
versus
you
Revival.
You like
None of
Zack
this one.
Ryder.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal,
Oh,
which
he's not
was
there
won
anymore.
by Braun Strowman. Alexa Bliss. Oh, sorry. Seth versus Brock.
Yep.
Seth went over. AJ Styles versus Randy
My
Orton.
favorite feud, my two favorites.
Ricochet and
Great match.
Aleister Black versus the Usos versus The Bar versus Rusev and Shinsuke.
They're just
Yeah.
not the bar. Oh, that's not right.
Shane versus The
That
Miz.
was a good match. I hate
That
to
was
say, but
great.
it was a good match.
Nia Jax and Tamina versus
Oh my God, Sasha Banks has
Beth
cold
Phoenix
in
and
this-
Natalia
she has
versus
gold in this
Iconics
picture?
versus Bailey and Sasha Banks.
Super loud pop.
I think
Iconics
Bailey
won.
is going to return soon too.
I think she's on one.
She's been around. Yeah, she's been sitting.
Craziest. I mean, you talk about an energy draining match. Like everybody knew Kobe was winning going
Sure.
into this. Like there was
Kofi-
no other way
Kofi
you
versus
could go
Daniel
with it.
Bryan.
I remember that.
Such
Yeah.
Oh, Rey
energy.
Mysterio versus Samoa Joe for the U.S. title. Drew
Roman and
versus
Drew.
Roman. Then Elias got interrupted by Cena. Triple H. I'm assuming that the McIntyre Reigns match was the drainer because
Yeah.
nobody was happy with how that went.
Yeah, I feel like they're not good together.
Triple H and
This was a
Batista,
drainer too. Though.
No holds
Baron
barred.
Corbin and Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Bleacher Report give it a D.
That should have get no. It really wasn't that bad.
It's Kurt Angle, man. They
It
can't go
just
anywhere.
how
Bobby
it- how it went
Lashley.
out.
Versus the Demon.
I don't remember that.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that either.
Winner take
Oh,
all.
I remember this one,
Becky,
okay.
Sasha, or Becky, Charlotte, and
That's when
Rousey.
Becky
And
won
that's when
both
Becky
belts.
won both
Becky
with the
two
botch
belts.
finish. Okay, WrestleMania 35 was not a very great WrestleMania.
But yeah, he came out and insulted
But anyway,
Elias, and then that's
this was
where
the
it
best
went
part
down.
for me. Then number 3,
What Josh
Nope.
had, it was hilarious.
creepy
like I
little
said-
bastard.
like I
That's where
said,
the creepy little bastard.
I
starts,
always
man.
love Cena's Dr.
The champ
Thugonomics.
started.
His other stuff,
Yes, I agree. It's
It's
good.
what entertained me the most about
I
Cena.
rewatched the Firefly Funhouse match like a week ago,
Nice.
and there's little things that Bray fucking says. He's like, "Come on, Superman!" Like, dude, he's so dead on. Cena,
He
though.
is.
Like,
I believe
"Come
that.
on, Superman! You know you're going to kick at it too." He goes to hit him. He's like, "Oh, you're not used to missing, are you?"
You gotta
awesome.
love Bray.
Just calling him out for his shit.
And then Yvonne had winning his first title,
His first ever title.
And it was
US
his first
title.
WrestleMania too.
which I guess is why he's
Yep.
always alluded to in the past
Beat the
that
Big Show.
the U.S. titles have been.
I mean,
Like,
nothing
means a lot to him.
nothing
Sure.
beats your
For sure.
debut and your first title win.
And he's
Things
on
you're
a-
never going to
It's a
forget.
big deal.
Both of those.
Does Theory keep the belt to SummerSlam, or do you think like Cena does cost him? Because that match
Cena
also
could.
doesn't
Cena's
need the
not
U.S.
costing him
title.
shit.
Depends what happens.
I don't like
on Raw.
matches that are so obvious though. Like if Cena fights Theory for the U.S. title, Cena's not going to stay away from Hollywood to fucking run with the U.S. title.
Why
Like,
have Theory hold the title this long just to drop it before SummerSlam though? Because I guess because the belt doesn't matter anymore. That could be a reason.
I don't know,
but
like, he doesn't have to hold it. Like, it's kind of like you're holding it hostage. It's like Rock and Roman. Like, there's no reason the belt needs to be on the line because The Rock is not winning.
That's what
He's
WWE
not.
thinks these days. They don't understand titles. They're just like,
Well, it's like you could have
Things.
two epic moments. Like, first, you're probably gonna have Ronda versus Becky because they've been wanting to do that forever.
Yep.
You gotta have Rock and Roman, Edge and Cena, fucking Cody and Seth.
Yep.
So you can have Cody fucking win his fucking title that he's been. That epic moment night 2 or night 1. It doesn't even fucking matter because you have 2 nights now. Then you have Rock and Roman, Cody and Seth. You don't do much better than that. Ronda and Becky. It just makes the depth of a card better when you're not handicapping a belt. You could have Bobby Lashley fight anybody else on the roster for the U.S. title at fucking SummerSlam. Then Cena in theory is a standalone, and you can put Cena over. Theory can get over, but Cena can win because I don't think Theory's beating John Cena. I just don't.
He's not. He's not.
But Cena's not going to win the U.S. title. So
I don't think
if I was picking
John
Money in the
Cena's
Bank,
not costing Theory anything.
which lucky I'm not picking
Not
Money in the
happening.
Bank, but I'm not. I will be picking Bobby Lashley to win that match.
Sure.
Because of interference by John Cena.
Sure, he's not interfering though. If Theory loses it, it's because of Theory's own personal
We know
distractions.
on Raw that Theory's going to play a part in Cena's return. For
Cena's
sure.
a good guy. He's not going to cost some new guy. He's already told him on Twitter how much he likes him and respects him. That ain't happening.
Well, you have to get the John Cena heel turn.
Yeah. In 2022.
Theory's going to attack Cena somehow on Raw.
And then Yvonne's
He's
number
gonna have
1.
What Josh had.
Ruthless.
And the debut of John Cena. Slapping Kurt Angle and then
I remember watching that shit on my little 18-inch TV in my bedroom at my parents' house
I
back
think
in the day.
we were in.
I guess I'm going to be the minority. That's not in my top 5.
That's not in my top 5 either.
oh my goodness.
I mean,
very cool.
kind of.
Kind of. That same evening is, but not that moment.
These 5 are like my favorite Cena ones too.
Because I didn't know who the fuck that guy was at that time. So it was like,
I'm like,
And
who's
it's
the
not
weird
the
guy
same
with the
guy.
weird hair? You know?
That's why he came out
All
to
these other moments happened with. This was a one-off with
it was a
this fucking
random
guy.
dude. Like, who's this weird-looking, boxy-looking dude? It's like a
The
graphic.
prototype.
It's a graphic from fucking PS2 over
with
here.
his weird hair and everything else.
That's the prototype.
It is the prototype.
Yep.
This little, kind of like
Kidd.
Tyson Kidd's hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does, yeah.
All right.
There's my 5 top.
He does not
Top
have
5.
Tyson Kidd's hair.
He did as the prototype in OVW. They are very similar. And then he came up here and wore his little shorts.
All these alerts, people sharing our shit.
Oh, they better. All right. Who's next?
You.
Let's hit it.
Picture.
All right.
Oh, I remember that.
So this one I remember watching live. And again, I was never a huge John Cena guy. I'm not the kind of guy back in those days and these days who's like, yeah, let's go superhero, because it's boring to me.
Superman.
But
Shit, my bad.
but when he did lift up 2 guys at once and hit the FU, as they called it back in the day, on both guys at once, you gotta give the guy props.
Absolutely.
I remember watching it live. Remember bringing,
Raw
it's like,
power.
exactly. I was at B-dubs with my buddies, and we are like, holy shit, he just did that. That's pretty crazy. Hate the guy, love the guy. That is pure
That is
fucking
awesome.
strength.
Yep.
Yeah, he's one of the strongest fuckers ever.
He is.
Can't
Yep.
believe it. And he even did it with Big Show once. Like, holy hell.
Yeah,
Those are big dudes.
I forget who was. I think it might have been Edge even with Big Show.
that sounds right.
But yeah, I was like, holy, how's he doing this? I remember watching him give the AA to Big Show the first time, and he just like power lifts him up. I'm like, damn. And to do 2 guys at once, you gotta give the guy respect. He's a
Yeah, you do.
workhorse, and that's pretty solid.
That's strength for you.
All right. And then this one, like I mentioned earlier, it's not about your in-ring abilities. It's about the power of the match. And this is equivalent to Hulk Hogan versus The Rock at WrestleMania 18. But now The Rock is the Hulk Hogan and the John Cena is The Rock. And it did last for a year, which I did not like. Still
And it
don't.
worked. Surprisingly, it worked.
They made it work.
They did.
But I was annoyed by that at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, the power behind this match, the media
It was
attention.
one of those matches that, like, going in, like,
Once in a
you felt
lifetime.
it. Like,
Sure.
it's like when it was about that, when it was time and their music hit, it's like, yeah, this is why. This is why they did it a year ago. Like, this is what it's like when Rock fights Roman. It's gonna be like, was this 3 years worth it? Was it worth pushing Hollywood back a year for COVID? It's like,
Well, at least with that,
Yeah.
it's different because they're not actively doing it, which for a year they actively had these guys
oh, dude, I'm not convinced
facing off.
this is gonna happen. I'm very interested to see what happens at SummerSlam.
Sure.
Because I'm still convinced that
That's-
If Roman keeps the belts through Royal Rumble, The Rock's going to come back. What the fuck is everybody calling me? The Rock is going to come back, win the Rumble. Because if Roman's got both belts, The Rock's going to fight him. So, like,
Sure.
which would suck.
Well,
So
that's
SummerSlam's going to determine your future predictions.
It would suck for people like Cody
Yep,
because
it does.
if he's fighting for the
What's
belts.
the point?
Yeah. Like,
Exactly.
and then,
That's why I think Money in the Bank's kind of a joke unless they switch the
which
titles.
is why I think that's going to happen because I
Sure.
don't think The Rock's going to return at the Royal Rumble and
No.
win it.
Sure.
I think that's a much bigger moment for Cody. And then
Sure.
The Rock can, yeah, I don't fucking know.
But anyway, and we all knew that this match wasn't going to be the greatest match of all time. Like, we
No.
knew it was going to be a pretty basic match, which it was. But they even remember their tag team at Survivor Series against Miz and Truth. Miz Truth, what do they call themselves?
Awesome
Truth.
Don't be disrespectful
Like,
to one of the
That
greatest tag
helped.
teams of all
They
time.
were really good.
They
They
were.
did stuff like that. It kind of helped progress it. And, so shit like that, I like that kind of stuff. But this match was just the aroma around it was really, really good. And that's why I can't deny it.
Yep.
Next on the people's list. Now, granted, he did beat JBL for that same title a year prior. Triple H is the game. And beating Triple H at WrestleMania, which is the first WrestleMania I ever watched live.
Yeah,
I bought it
that's
myself,
huge.
just saying that's why it's in my head forever.
That's true.
But he did, and I love their build up to this match as well. I was really invested. It was my senior year in high school. And they actually were also a tag team at Saturday Night Main Event, not too long before WrestleMania 22. They had their kind of thing similar to John Cena and The Rock. I love that storyline. And sure, John Cena was already a champion at one point, but to not only pin, but make Triple H tap out, who is 06. He's the game at this time.
Mhm.
Really solidifies John Cena's.
Oh yeah.
This solidified who John Cena was going to be going forward.
Yep.
So always sticks with me. This match
That's
does.
huge. Beat Triple H is huge.
And then we've already talked about it. His surprise entrance. Now, if it was just a regular Royal Rumble, nobody would have cared, even if he did win. But the fact that nobody was expecting this to happen, he just shows up. Pretty cool. So, yeah, buddy. And then this is
Oh,
probably the one too, because sure, earlier this night for you audio listeners, it's when the Undertaker on John Cena's debut match against Kurt Angle's Open Challenge. Afterwards, Undertaker shakes the dude's hand. So, granted, he showed up, he smacked Kurt Angle, he lost. Don't know who the fuck that guy is, doesn't matter. But then later that night, Undertaker does the whole attaboy. And remember, at this point in time, the Undertaker was the American badass and he was a heel.
Yeah, he was.
So the fact that the
Mhm.
Undertaker, this badass guy who not too long ago put Maven through a fucking popcorn maker,
He did. He did.
So-
Yeah, he did.
is giving this dude a handshake backstage. That really solidifies. Well, clearly he's going to be somebody.
Yep.
If Taker's, the heel Undertaker is doing this to the guy backstage. It made you remember who John Cena was. So, like I said, I remember this more than Kurt Angle's Open Challenge any day of the week. So, because of the prestige that Undertaker is and who he was at that time. Yeah,
I'm John Cena. Smack.
that's all I got. Bennett, you're up.
I suck and didn't give pre-text to get images out, so
It's all right.
a lot of mine are fairly similar. I do have the firehouse.
That was an honorable mention. It was hard for me
as-
not to
as
put it
my
on.
I
number
thought,
five.
I thought it was going to be on yours,
Oh,
honestly.
he lost.
I
I try to have shit that he didn't lose.
No, fair
That's
enough.
fair, but I have it on there as my number 5. Just it shows this range. It shows that all the shit everybody's talked about, the golden shovel, the heel turns,
You
this
can
and
look,
that,
but
and
you can't
he
touch.
sees it all. The Bella twin thing.
Yeah.
That was funny.
He said, "No wonder you about got fired, John. This sucks." He's like, "Were you gonna hit me?"
Everything about that was just it worked. Talking shit about when he did beat Bray, like and how it happened, how it should
Yeah, he
have
handed
happened.
him
That
the
was
WrestleMania
chair.
30.
He's like,
Yep.
"You didn't do it before. You better do it now." And he goes to hit him, and he disappears.
like everything. It was fantastic. I do have Shawn Michaels and John Cena at WrestleMania
30. Hold on,
Two?
stop. 23.
Was it 23?
23.
At Detroit, right?
Yep.
Yes, when Cena drove the car through the window, the match was fantastic. The storytelling inside the match. Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer ever. I
And
don't-
Shawn Michaels did not shake John Cena's hand afterwards, and he was supposed to. He didn't like the match. He was not happy with it for some reason. And I thought he was being petty for it.
No, he was just the perfectionist.
Yeah.
But the match itself, I thought was great. I do have The Rock Cena as my number 3.
28 or 29? 28 was the first
28,
one. All right.
We'll go 28. Go two Cena losses in this
So
love tap of
disrespectful.
him. It's a little disrespectful, but the
It's
second one
true.
was more
To make John Cena win.
predetermined
Yeah.
than the
Yeah,
first one.
28 was better.
Right.
It
We all
was-
knew Cena was winning that one.
Yeah,
I mean-
it was bound to happen. So
That's for
the
the
first
belt.
one had the allure of like, who's gonna pull this one out? And you knew there was gonna be a number 2. I wish there would have been a number 3.
Yeah, I would have liked it.
Yeah, because right
Yeah.
now they're 1-1.
Yep.
They are.
Number 2 is Cena winning his 16th title.
Oh, there you go.
That's
a
To
good-
tie with Ric Flair.
Yes, the match with AJ Styles, another
Yep.
storytelling match.
That was a good feud.
That was
was
a good
against
feud.
what I think is the second best in-ring performer I've ever got to watch. Would be AJ Styles.
Sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think they tore the house down.
They got real good
They
chemistry.
did.
I'll never forget. As much as I hate AJ Styles promos, I'll never forget when he said, "Why are you still here?" It's like,
Like,
tell
why?
him.
Like,
Tell him.
Tell him,
I
Styles.
know.
He
Hashtag beat
said-
up John Cena.
And what
Beat up
did-
John
And
Cena.
what did Cena? He's like, I'm here because without me, guys like you can't make it here.
Yeah.
At least said to Roman Reigns.
That's what I said to Reigns.
Oh shit.
That is in my honorable mention. That was one of the best promos he's
It was.
he's put
Cena's
out.
I agree.
promos
That's
are
good,
fucking
yeah.
stupid. He has some promos that are just like next level.
Since he's not been a full timer, yes. When he was a full timer, no. When he can actually talk, yes.
Like his promos on Reigns leading up to their match
That was
last year.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
like-
good.
He's like, I'm here because you can't do your job
Yeah.
right.
And then the 08 Rumble return. If that's not your number 1,
Sure.
or at least in your top 1,
Right.
2, I think that's a problem.
That's
because-
a big one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that you're a medical fucking dream. Like 4
Yeah.
months on a
What the f-
torn,
Mhm.
you
What the
tore the
fuck?
muscle off the bone.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like you shouldn't be there and doing the shit you did. But in fairness, we did watch Cody Rhodes do a Hell in a Cell match
We
with
did.
a ton of
With
spots.
that same injury.
Same injury.
Not
Yeah.
even tried to heal it.
And he won the match.
They
Yeah.
said that the only reason they let him wrestle was because it literally couldn't get worse. So,
When that documentary,
so I have
when
at
that
it.
little documentary comes out on Peacock of
I'll be
all
watching.
that, I'm gonna watch that.
Yep.
That's like
Me
an
too.
hour.
Sure.
It goes like leading up to his training to where he gets hurt to where he does the match and then everything after the fact.
Yep.
I think that'd be pretty.
You got to
fucking
give the
cool.
guy credit.
That'll be great
Definitely.
on the Elimination Chamber pay per view in Saudi when that comes out
Right.
right before Mania, as Cody just wins the Rumble.
I hope so.
And then SmackDown tomorrow. You have this.
Not tomorrow.
Friday.
2 days.
Sorry, Friday.
I know we're.
Well, to our audio listeners, it will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And then Gunther versus Ricochet. Ricochet gets his rematch.
yeah, hopefully Gunther just
Glad he got in
retains.
shape. Looks incredible. Still kind of looks like a meth addict at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
he
he
does.
looks different, right?
He does
Like his
look
face
different.
looked took up most of the weight loss.
Yeah.
And like the rest of his body got lean, but
It's
his face didn't.
It's like a
Gunther's
still
gonna-
saggy face.
Yeah.
Gunther's gonna retain.
Oh,
And
for
then
sure.
Sami
Definitely.
Zayn versus Shinsuke. I do not have a graphic for that. They don't have
Sammy's
one
gonna
right
win.
now. And
We know what they
then
look like.
Shotzi versus Aaliyah
Let's go.
in a
Luke.
women's
Like,
qualifying match, which I assume Shotzi will probably go over. But
I don't
who
really.
knows?
I thought Aaliyah would because she's kind of famous. She's getting popular
She
right
was
now.
good on NXT.
People, I mean, she's been getting over.
And so was Shotzi. They both were good.
Yeah, Shotzi, I can't
Ricochet
really
is
test.
this generation's or this era's version of Dolph Ziggler.
I could agree with that.
Mhm.
He's just there to put everybody else over and look good.
Yep. But
Yep.
he'll never have the size to be
Sure.
main event threat.
and he'll never have the title run.
Yep.
He'll never have the title run.
No,
Which
no.
Ziggler got one
He did.
or two,
What a real one.
and they let him beat John Cena.
Well,
They
not
did.
even
And
the
fuck
one.
CM
Del
Punk's
Rio,
life.
Del Rio kicked him in the fucking head. And he was out for 2 months, and then they dropped the title off of him because
At least Del Rio didn't lock him in his basement, so that's nice.
Oh, Lord.
So then the Money in the Bank match card got some shit added to it this week as
It
well.
did.
Theory and Lashley for the U.S. title.
Sure.
The Usos and the Street Profits.
Oh,
Clearly,
yeah.
the Usos retain.
I
The,
wonder who will win.
Dawkins beat Jay this week.
Oh
But
boy,
I don't know. You take the title off Reigns.
this isn't. This isn't. Then Reigns is going to be later if they do take it off.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah, you're
true.
right.
Yeah, that,
No,
I forgot they've already pre-announced.
I'm
everything
telling
for 3
you.
months.
Ezekiel and Elias taking those at SummerSlam.
I'd like that.
Oh, we know who's going to win.
Oh
this
boy,
one.
Rousey and Natalya.
I wonder who
Who
will
will
win.
Hopefully they put this on
In
the
this
pre-show.
one, yeah, I agree.
Hopefully, just fire
Rousey's
both of
title
them.
reign is
And
terrible.
Carmella versus Bianca. So
Yeah.
there's still no word on what the actual injury is for Rhea,
Yep,
but reports are that Bianca most likely just happens at SummerSlam.
exactly.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Injuries happen.
And I think that's when Rhea takes the strap off of Bianca.
I agree.
I
That's
agree
when
too.
the Judgment Day makes their big.
She
Yeah.
finally gets
Well,
a
they're
title.
supposed to
transition.
add. They're supposed to add another member,
Uh-oh.
Okay,
and then
why not?
We know who that's. Well,
well, somebody's got to replace Edge,
Sure.
and then we'll see. Then the women's Money in the Bank, which is so far Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Lacey Evans, Asuka, and Raquel
There's two I'm stuck with.
Rodriguez. Right now, I'd go Raquel as
Me
my
too.
favorite.
Me too.
Liv 2, Alexa 3, Lacey 4, Asuka 5.
I got Raquel right now.
Not bad.
Raquel and Alexa.
Asuka
right
just
now.
won it. Like, did she fucking win it last time?
I think
She did.
so.
I
Yeah.
gotta go with AB on that one. I gotta go with Alexa.
I hope
think,
so.
I would be perfectly fine with that.
I
Me
hope
too.
Alexa wins.
But I
Alexa
think-
or Raquel.
I think her and
What-
Liv are destined to be the tag team champions, so that takes them out of the running.
Liv
for
can
title.
actually win a
And
title.
And then it gives
Finally.
Raquel something to get her over. Like, she's new.
She's
Sure.
a new
She's
girl.
she's looked impressive. They put her against Rousey.
People
She
like
had
her.
one of those
Yeah.
very close to winning things.
They're
Yeah.
fucking confusing me with Lacey Evans.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
just-
all over the place.
They don't even
They
know.
went from all this like positivity
To like
vignettes
weird
that they were
depression.
doing to like now she's supposed to be a heel.
Yeah.
Well,
Let
Lacey
her
Evans.
win.
Lacey
That's how you
Evans is
make
like
her
Raquel.
heel.
They don't
Never
even
win.
know what they're doing with Lacey Evans. Like,
What Josh said about Raquel, Lacey Evans the same way. She's not new, but she's a fresh start for her.
I'll tell you
game
what
back.
though,
Lacey Evans could win too.
I'm
Something new
not
for
mad
her.
if
Sure.
Asuka wins and we get Asuka Rousey.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, I just don't care about Asuka these days.
Me either. But she beat Becky clean on.
And this one
Monday.
seems obvious so far.
Seth.
I would go with Seth.
Seth right now.
The other three just don't make any sense, really.
I agree.
Omos will just.
Ron Breaker's gonna get in it and win.
I
Fair
think
enough.
Madcap gets in. I think Zayn gets in.
Yep. It's gonna be a
And I
good
think
match.
that's
but
it, right? 6. Then we
Yeah.
do 6.
Yeah. No, I think they do 7.
Because I still feel like somehow Becky gets in this.
I think it's either 6 or 8.
She's on the poster. She better.
No,
get
because
it.
they do
Shotzi
4
would get
each.
in.
Yeah.
Is there 8?
I mean,
I thought there was 8.
at one point when it started, it was 6. At one point, there was 8, but I don't know if they've gone back
There's
or not.
5 on there. Shotzi gets in at 6.
So that one time there was a
Maybe
wrestle.
6.
Remember that one time there was 40 at the Royal Rumble. It's like I don't know. They go back and forth.
They do.
Anywhere from 5 to 10.
I hope Becky gets in. She's on the Dagburn poster.
Facebook user says, "Yo,
They've done 7.
it's Vince
Four.
McMahon. He's going to lose in his mind."
Vince, blink twice if you're okay.
So they have done 7 in the past.
I think
Yeah.
they did like the whole world champion, like the ex-world champion
Okay,
one, and
fair
then they
enough.
brought like RBD back or something like that. They had 3 and 3. And
That makes sense.
I
Ladder,
think
yeah.
Becky finds a way to get in somehow. I just don't know how, but she's going to find somehow to get in.
Oh, apparently this is Justin Del Rio, not to be confused with the other Del Rio.
It's me, Justin.
It
I
just
didn't
shows
say-
Facebook user, bro. I don't know what to tell you. From over there at the Nerds of Wrestling.
Why isn't it showing? What did you get banned for?
What's up, Justin?
He's in the helicopter somewhere. But yep. So is that it? Is that all we got? As I
That
fuck
is.
up the studio over here.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much. Next week is Money in the Bank predictions.
Already.
Next
Money in
week.
the Bank is July 2nd.
Oh, that's coming up. That's like
July's already come.
Not
next
this
weekend,
Not this
yeah.
Saturday.
It's already-
Saturday after this.
It's already coming up.
And then
wait, it's on Saturday. Oh, that's
we're
nice.
4 weeks away
Oh.
from SummerSlam.
I'm not sure I'll be able to watch that. I'm going to be in Cincinnati on that day. I'm not sure I'll be home in time. That's lame. That's always a good pay-per-view.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it in our group
Nothing.
chat. We will talk
Facebook
about
don't just ban you for
I
nothing.
think there was only the only thing they really have in AEW was Christian's heel turn.
it. That was
And
it.
the Young Bucks won the titles.
Yeah, nobody cares about the Young
It's
Bucks.
dope
Exactly.
poster.
They are the worst.
They are
And
the
then
worst.
Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Somebody will unsuccessfully cash in for another year.
I'm going to win it. I'm going to cash in at SummerSlam. I'm just going to be the champion going forward for the rest of
You better
2022.
be your warrior champ.
That's it, man. That's it. It's
So
going to be
I'm just
deal.
gonna add my 7 days for next week. So I'm up to 794.
Let's go ahead and do the
Okay.
math now.
So my after Money in the Bank, it'll be at 801.
It's a long time.
Is it
That is
arrogant
awesome.
for me to tweet from the RSH account congratulations to myself
No.
and then retweet
You
it
are arrogant.
Not at all.
and then tag Eric Bischoff in it? Like, this is how you book a long-term champion, bitch. But anyway,
Cool. So that's going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of regularly scheduled hostilities. Hope you all enjoyed this show. Again, as always, if you didn't, it's kind of
John
on
Cena.
you. It's been over an hour.
It's your own problem.
And that's it. Follow us on all the social media platforms. Listen to us on all the audio platforms. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your wives, tell your kids. And until next time, continue to fear regularly scheduled